T-Rex, level 40. Let's go. Landscape page, pencil eraser, hip pause if I go too fast. This is cool. Got like loads of spikes and stuff. Looks terrifying. So, focusing on the head, and we get some of the body and the spikes, maybe his little hands. No matter how many times the T-Rex leveled up, he still has little hands. So, let's try this. Big, well, small eye. Up here, top of my page nearly. Just kind of curved, sort of like a grain of rice or an almond. There. And then the iris and pupil. So it's like a circle. Just sort of looking up that way. And then the pupil, sort of there. So, eyelid line. It's coming around the top. And on the bottom there. And then we have that big sort of frown, right? So it's kind of a bumpy sort of situation. So it goes like back here. And then around the eye, there's like this bone here. And then there is another bone here. Right? So the eye socket is like located in this bony section. And then we have all sort of bags around his eye, then in there. So like other sort of eyelid lines and stuff all there, right? And then we have that big bony sort of frowning thing, right? So it's kind of bumpy, right? So it goes bumping down along his face. And it also seems to go down this way, right? So it's got like a longer section, and it gets kind of bumpy and spiky down towards his nostril. Down there. This is like a heavy frown. And then there's that other nose socket thing right there. So this has all sorts of textures and stuff on it. Bumps, angles and things coming around. And this will go bumping around the back of the head. Around, so there's like different sort of boning section here, like a little sort of ear or something. And then it sort of goes down that way. Okay. So the top part of the skull, right? So he's got like a big bumpy nose on top, right? So it bumps up a little bit here. It goes down. And then it goes around the mouth. It's all teeth and stuff that stick out here, right? So this will like bump all across to the back of the head, which is here. And then he's got like lip bumps and a nostril and everything. So his nostril, we'll actually add a nostril, say. There. There's like texture around that. Right, and then we'll do his top lip, okay? So it kind of goes down underneath the eye. Right, so it comes to this point and goes back up. So it's like roughly underneath where his eye socket starts. And then this will curve around, back down, up. You can see a couple of bumps. It's a real wavy line. And then it curves around his teeth back here. Okay, eye socket shape and the ear socket shape, and then there's like textures and stuff on that. But we're going to give him lip line, right? And I'm going to give him a big scar too, because, you know, it's level 40. He's fighting all the time. So I'm going to go double scar here and then a single. Three scars then. Scar lines here. Okay. And then top lip, right? It's this bumpy, scaly around here, and this will have all texture lines on it. Like so. And then we'll add a few more textures and stuff on him coming around. It's like scales, like circles together, sort of clumped together. 3 or 4 of them are good at making things look like dinosaurs. And then you just want to like broken lines following the shape of his head, right? So kind of curvy coming over these. And then coming down. So it's like you're kind of throwing a net on top of his head, right? So it's like crisscross lines. Like kind of like that. And it just makes him look a bit bumpy and scaly. Okay. So before we do teeth, we'll just get the bottom jaw in, right? So starts here. Curves around down, right? And it goes down to there, across, down towards his bottom lip, and then the jaw will follow that section, and it gets thinner as it goes down, see? And I just go around the teeth, kind of like the top. And then we have that piece of skin that like holds his mouth together. And we'll give him a top lip, a bumpy, oh, and a scar. I want to give him a scar down here. So if there's his mouth closed, it'll be here. And we'll just do that bumpy lip again. And then like scales, textures. So you're following, just adding these dashes and then curve it around. So these little lines that curve around, broken little dots and dashes and stuff. Like so. Right? That just makes them look a bit scaly. So teeth. So T-Rex doesn't have like crazy big teeth. Like a couple of them are, and they're kind of spaced out a bit. So it's up to you how big you want to do them. So they're kind of like that. And we can see the teeth around the back of his mouth as well. We'll just add these ones first. Kind of get smaller up here. They start to go into the back of his mouth, then down around here, but we'll finish these ones first. So then we got another layer, right? So you can see them actually inside the mouth, right? So say like, as we start to come down here, you'll see them like growing out of his gum line. Right, so, and then his mouth kind of follows this curve here. Okay, and then like there's another skin line that goes down that way. And then the tongue. Oops, out there. Lots of teeth. And these ones will go into the gum line again on this side. You know, you can see the inside of his mouth, so just there like that. And that's the head, pretty much. And he's like roaring, so like you could put like spit and stuff all coming out from the mouth. Rawr. Okay. Right. Now, body. So, neck at the front. Going this way. And then it comes down. We meet hands there. Sorry, now my mic is going to fall off, so I can fix it. Okay, sorry. So, body and back of the head. So his head's quite high up here. There's lots of spikes and things. Right, so the head is right up near his eyebrow. And then this will travel down this way. And we start to meet like loads of spikes then. There. So maybe we'll just get like a rough sort of bumpy situation. Just for where the back sort of goes. Just so we have an idea. It's like a broken line. There's all spikes, but the back, roughly the back goes that way, okay? And then there's 2 or 3 layers of spikes. And then his hand comes out here, right? His arm sort of and his elbow then there. And this is fingers, and they're kind of like longer fingers. They're kind of like spikier or something. Is that just me? Maybe they're not. They're supposed to be, but they look like that to me. And he just has 2 of them. Right, so one there, and then the shoulder. Yes, we got like bicep kind of, and then shoulder here. Okay, then the rest of his body sort of runs down this way. And you would see the start of a leg, maybe like a little bit of his thigh or something here. And then his other hand, just the wrist coming out from the other side of the body. And those 2 spiky fingers. Right? And like you have finger lines sort of on the top, kind of like wrinkly skin. And we can just see his leg on this side kind of like stepping forward and coming out between the fingers here. That's like his knee, sort of here. Right. That's basically his body position. So now spikes, right? So we're just going to start adding layers upon layers of these. And there's like small ones and bigger ones. And just kind of like big mountain ranges. Right, kind of like this, right, to get us started. And to make them look a bit three-dimensional, right, there's a little trick you can do. So you can just like add a line down there. You're kind of making it look a bit like a pyramid or something. There's probably smaller ones going that way. Then we kind of just build it up, right? So we keep adding. And adding those 3D sort of pyramid lines. There's some that come onto the body as well, actually. Like here. Alright, there's some on the top of his arm. And you just keep going. Just keep adding lots of spikes and making them look a little bit 3D as well. Right, and I don't know if he should have some smaller ones on the top of his head, but I think they should keep going, to be honest. Okay. Now, so we have to like texture up his body. So T-Rexes usually have these big sort of vein lines that run down the sort of head, right? So these are like these huge sort of wrinkly skin things that are on the neck and they're usually darker. Thicker lines, right? Because they're supposed to be like veins, you know. So that kind of a thing, right? And they're usually kind of bumpy, right? So they have an edge because they're raised up off his skin. And then what we'll do is add textures to all of it. So you'll do the same thing as we did in the face. So imagine you're like throwing a net all over your dinosaur. So you go follow your shape, right? So you go along his back and up his neck, and you go one direction. So one direction at first. And down his belly and all this way, right? So you're just going one direction first. So it's like, you know, imagine you're brushing him or something. Not brushing a T-Rex. Doesn't make sense. But imagine like the lines of the brush are going along here, right? And they're making a mark sort of on his body, right? But like just coming across there. And say like on the arm, so you go like curve it around the arm because it's a round object, right? Okay. So then, to make it look a bit scalier, you'll go vertically. So that's like the horizontal lines, and then you do the vertical ones. So you'll go like broken. And you're always wanting to follow imagine the form of the thing. So you want it to be like following the neck shape, kind of go curving around these things. These are all curvy objects, right? Like his body's curving this way, his rib cage sticks out, so it curves this way, right? And then it curves in the other way. Like his leg and everything. his arm. Okay. Dots and scales and bumps and pretty much that's it. And then you color it. So he's got like tiger stripes, right? So black and then orange and sort of yellow. Looks cool. Hope it's helpful. Level 40 T-Rex. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.